Hello there, my name is Jack Hammond, and this is the demo video for my chess game that I wrote using C++. So if we go ahead and build it, okay, build, and then I will run without debugging. So this program, it's all inside the command line. It starts out with printing a basic instruction guide saying that this is what the chessboard looks like. It's an 8x8 grid with a 0 index. So this top left one is going to be 0, 0 all the way down to 7, 7. And how the game works is you type in the XY coordinate of the piece you want to move, and then the XY coordinates of where you want it to move to. And then each player just takes turns going and doing that back and forth. So like for example, first move, if we want to move this pawn forward by 2, because we can, because it's in its starting position, this leftmost pawn, we would do 0, 1, because that's its coordinate, and then move it to here, which is 0, 3. So let's try 0, 1, 0, 3, and look, it moved forward successfully. So now it's black's turn. If we want to do something more complicated, like this knight right here, it's an N because we're saving the K for king. We are going to go ahead and do, that is 6, 7, down to, let's move it right here. I like that opening in chess, is 5, 5. And we can move it there. And to show that you can't do invalid moves, if we try to move forward that pawn 2 again, it won't let it, because it's no longer at its starting position. So if I say 0, 3, so that's the leftmost pawn right there, the white pawn, and let's try to move it to 0, 5, so to this place right here. It's going to go ahead and say invalid move, try again, because we can't. And so if we try to fix that, okay, now let's go move forward only 1, it works. And then you can keep playing until one of the kings is taken. And so if we close out of here, looking at the actual code, we can see that we have, to start off, just a base class of piece with a virtual function with that is valid move, and then each piece also has its own symbol, which is just a character, and then a boolean of is white or not. And then each piece has its own class that it's a child class of that piece. And so like king, the most simple, it goes, first of all, if it's white, then we have this conditional that if the white is true, it's capital, otherwise it's a lowercase k. And then this is valid move. For each piece, it just checks to see, it looks at its starting x and y and the ending x and y, and sees if that's a valid movement. So I wrote, for the king, the absolute value of the change in x has to be less than or equal to 1, and the absolute value for the change in y has to be equal to 1. Or less than or equal to 1. So it can only move in a square around it, in one square. Queen, it just has to either, it can move anywhere, but it either has to be diagonal or vertical or horizontal. And we can see that's checked right there. And going through, we can see there's for each of it. Rook is only vertical or horizontal. Bishop is only diagonal. Knight it's a little bit more complicated. It's only the L shape. So it has potentially 8 places to move to. And then pawn, it has either the single step move or the double step if it is initial, and then it can capture. It can go a diagonal in order to capture a piece. But yeah, and then the board just declares all of that. So that's there. And then this is where it prints it all out. So it's pretty simple. Something I would like to add is, just more checks, because right now, and more functionality with it. There's no castling or en passanting, and also any player can just keep moving, their pieces. I'd like it to be like, okay, white has to move, then black has to move, and that's pretty easy to add. But for as right now, it is perfectly functional with all of those, and then whenever a player wins, people just manually end it. But thank you for watching, and have a good day.